peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
And thank you so much for joining us. This is the Africa Showdown, and we're coming to you all the way from Kenya's capital here in Nairobi. A very beautiful, beautiful afternoon here, just a few minutes past 2 p.m. here. I trust that your Sunday has started off well. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're tuned in today. And of course, from the Political Command Center is Dr. David Matanga. Doctor, how are you today?
Thank you very much, viewers, wherever you are in the world. Thank you very much for watching us from the Legacy Trend Television and Political Command Center in London. Good afternoon in Nairobi. Good morning in London. Good morning in America. Good evening in Australia, New Zealand. Thank you very much. And good evening in Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, Colombia, Venezuela. Good evening, Amarito. Good evening, all of you in Africa, the African continent, right from Tripoli, Chad, Jamena, the capital city of Ghana, Maina. Ambassador, His Excellency Maina, online. In the show, capital city, Jamena. Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you very much, all of you in Cape Town, in wherever you are in Africa, in Accra, in Lagos, in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire, in Asmara, Eritrea, Mogadishu, Mohamed Faremajo, the troublemaker of the region. Thank you. Wherever you are in Kigali, Rwanda, the strongman Kagame, in Uganda, the nominated President Museveni. Good afternoon. Good afternoon in Juba, Sarubaki. Good afternoon, my friend General Duglo in Khartoum, my comrade at arms. Good afternoon, wherever you are. Good afternoon, Emerson Imonakagwa in Harare, Zimbabwe. Good afternoon. Thank you, Ramaphosa, the lame duck president of Africa. Good afternoon. Thank you. Thank you very much. In Yaoundé, Paul Biya, 40 years of rule. Good afternoon. Modesting Cameroonians. By the way, does somebody in African continent know there is AFCOM? How many of you follow AFCOM? Do you have interest in AFCOM? It's because it is in a wrong country. Last year or 2 years ago when AFCOM was in Egypt, every African was glued on TV. But today, because AFCOM is in a country that has butchered, maimed, slaughtered, defiled, killed, destroyed its own natives, nobody is watching. And yet it's a very serious African event, William. Good morning everywhere in the Commonwealth. This television is a community television. And a good morning, kind ambassador in Paris. the new colonizer, new colonist, colonizer, mercantile capitalist of the world in Paris. Good morning, my dear brother. Across the snow seems to be coming with a new threat of COVID-19, which Miriam is going to tell us more about COVID-19 situation in Kenya. Are the vaccines arriving? If so, is there hope? What the situation? What a great afternoon. The topics are very simple. Let me finish it for Miriam so that she can take it from there. Kenya, we shall be looking at the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta. Yesterday, the lion roared from Sagana. Now we know there is no more salt. Salt became salt. The deputy president no longer talks to the president. Now we know why he did so, why the president is not fulfilling, is not finishing his legacy properly. Now we know. On behalf of the legacy trend, I defend the legacy. Any word that you utter on the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta, I am here. I'm the defender. And I'm ready to go down with you. But my question this morning is, if a lawyer who writes silly things on Twitter is your counsel or your lawyer in the High Court, can he also win a case between a rat and a cat? Miriam, can he win a case between a rat and a cat? If the police that are supposed to protect you in Uganda beat you in order to protect you, is it a police force? You heard the famous or infamous statement by the Commissioner of Police of Uganda, Inspector General of Police, said we beat journalists to protect them. So are we having a police force or we are having a police service? You choose between the two, where to go to River Nile or to go and rot in Luzira, or go and see your maker. That's the police force we have. Across, apart from elections in Uganda, we still have quite a lot of hiccups. The ICC haunts us. This week or last week, the International Criminal Court delivers a verdict that Mr. Gicheru can return home after paying 1 million shillings worth deposit, which is about 8,000 euros, and deposit it with the International Criminal Court Office Registry Outreach Office. He can return home, stick to his house, stick to his country, never to travel outside. Is Gicheru safe? Would a normal person, a normal court, is the court all right, or there is something very fishy? How do you send this man back? I want you people to think very carefully. How do you send a man back who was arrested? They should have just detained this guy in custody or finished his case quickly, either sentence him or change his identity. But I don't think it is a very good thing. I am only saying, I have no evidence, but I've been on these cases for a long time. I don't think it is very good. If I were Gicheru, I would just leave, go and ask to stay in Belgium until the case is finished. I don't know who misrepresented him. I don't know why he chose to return. First of all, he left without the consent of the Kenya government, and the Kenya government has not said it will guarantee his safety. The Attorney General was still bargaining with ICC. They have not agreed on the terms. The same people whose evidence could depend on that, we shall look at that also. Also on our menu, we shall look at the sanctions against Zimbabwe. Should they stay, they should be removed immediately. Also on our menu, we shall look at Central African Republic. The war that never ends. Jermaine, when will this war end? When will Africa rise and shine again? Is the AU still function? What is the role of AU in ending this conflict where rebels are threatened to enter the capital and snatch the president, eat him to pieces and eat his nails, fingers, and his mouth? Remember, Central African Republic has got some cannibals. There's a tribe that eats people in Central African Republic. You remember Emperor Bokassa? He used to eat people. Mr. Miner will tell us, when you tell this somebody in London, he will run away from the train. But there is a tribe in Central African Republic that used to eat cannibalized people. And it was headed by none other than the emperor.
That was not in Nyamachoma party.
It was in Nyamachoma party of Guinea Bokassa. So, Bozize is from the tribe of Guinea Bokassa. He is now moving his troops towards the slaughter of the current president. Across the bridge in Uganda, there is trouble coming this week. The International Criminal Court is releasing its verdict. Was Onwen forced to kill, or did he kill willingly? Did he kill from his own liking, or if he returned without the kill, he would be killed? The question of diminished return. The law, and the lawyer who has read this, Mr. Jonjo up here with his Jonjo suit, who can tell us more. The law of diminished return. You are captured as a young man and told that if you go to the battlefield, you must come with 10 dead bodies. Kid Mwaga has arrived. Miriam will do the introduction. I'm doing the overview. Good English, overview. You know? It is. In Uganda, a test case arrives again. And I told you people, I told Museveni that one day I will sit here and witness whatever you have kept quiet, not to tell the world, coming out. This case has a lot of implications. One, northern Uganda, the conflict that I took part in, we shall look at it. I will give you more details. It has healed, it has moved on. You kill a man who was captured and told to go and kill, and if you don't kill and return without a kill, they will kill you. What do you do with such a man? You sentence him to death? You sentence him to 30, 40 years? Did he kill willingly? That is our position. I think other than that, we shall look at other countries. Tanzania, is there corona? Miriam will update us with some other African news. Is there corona in Tanzania? How many people are dying daily in Tanzania? If you are in Tanzania, call us.
Doctor, some schools have been
from
closed.
Dar
Some schools have been closed, the international schools, because of corona.
Okay, we shall hear those news. Schools have closed, but Magufuli hammered 270 million euros. Hey, African leaders are here. Why? And then told the European Union to show them the middle finger and said, you can leave. I have not said the word, I've just said the middle one. That the ender. This is allowed on the news. But if I decide the other word is not allowed. But he just told them bye-bye. So, Gaina, why do you steal people's money? Then he disappeared. Then he closed the border, closed the airport, closed the house. Is Africa moving in the right direction? In Uganda, finally, Bob Wine files a petition tomorrow. This afternoon, this evening, before 5, they will deliver part of the documents, and finally tomorrow, a petition. Jurisprudence of Uganda's constitution, of an election. What is it that we want to see? Right from the legacy television in London. Thank you very much, viewers, wherever you are. Thank you very much. Back to Miriam in Nairobi. Punchline Africa Television. I thank you very much for hosting us. And I'm here. I'm ready to go.
Very well.
The engine is real fulfilled.
All right.
With fuel. Thank you.
Unadulterated fuel. Thank you so much, Doctor, for that. So we'll just start with our first topics, and that is in Kenya. And I'll start by reading the front page of the Sunday Nation today. And the headline says, gloves off. The shaky relationship between the president and his deputy is unraveling in sleepy Sagana, where Uhuru is leaving nothing to doubt that he won't stomach the daring do of Ruto. Is the king finally claiming his throne? Doctor, start us off.
Yes. The king has roared. Karanja was in Sagana. And believe me or not, Karanja, you were there, you watched events from Sagana. I warned the people earlier in that morning in my writing on my wall. I said the president is not going to leave any stone unattached. He has had enough. He has listened. He has the intelligence. People are wondering why the president cannot tell them what is the mistake. Where is the mistake? People want to move with a legacy. The deputy president is moving backwards, telling us about wheelbarrow and hustler, that he will empower people. He wants people to get government money, which he has already eaten. The same money he has eaten. He's taken all the money. There is no money here. He took all the money. Why Museveni? Museveni is still holding some money. He took it. We know how much it is. So don't worry. It is good that Uhuru Kenyatta has now come out. We people who defend Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy are going to document this thing for you. A lot of huge money was lying somewhere. And the listening post, remember, have you heard of the word called listening post? Some of us are listening posts. We are silent observers. Huge money. The governor of the central bank cried, where is the money? Does anybody in Kenya remember the skite of Murkomen and the Senator Kindiki going to every parastatal where the deputy president had put his henchmen to collect cash in millions? Does anybody remember KPC, Kenya Pipeline? How much money was collected? How much money was collected from Kemeror? Oh, the dams. The water is going to kill his own people. No wonder he calls them hustlers. Yeah, the hustlers are going to die of... You know God does not cheat. Did you see that God came and hammered a landslide there? Because he wanted to show us human beings that we did a very bad thing to cheat this money. So Miriam, basically, victory. The president's message was very clear. And I want to be very candid to ask to read some of the things that the president talked about. One, which must make a basis of our discussion. The president said, when he went to the people of the Rift Valley and other places, he did not go through the window. He went through the front door. Deputy President Ruto has been going through the window actually as a thief. You know, always a thief steals through window. There is very few thieves. It's only robbers. You know what? You know the difference between a robber and a thief? Only robbers who come through the front door because they have the gun to shoot you. But no more thief goes through the window and the ventilator. Then he jumps through the toilet. You find him in the house. Then he can kill you. But a robber will come with guns, put his car out, open the door, smash with the stone. There's that difference. Mujambazi na wajambazi, there's a difference between wajambazi, mafia, and a thief. So this thief, the president was saying, came through the abnormal window to go to his backyard, convince people, turn people, tell them to insult the president. That's the legacy I am defending. Two, the president asked the people, surely, he is doing the BBI to unite the Kenyans. Isn't the BBI worth 35% of the money being taken? What is wrong with amending a constitution to give Kenyans 35%? You cannot amend it. You cannot extend it without going through the main pillar of the constitution. Therefore, you have to amend it. He said, if that does not benefit the 7-8 million people of the great mountains of Kenya, then there is the president said it does in the church and around with conmen, busybodies. Somebody from Mount Kenya yet this morning on KTN said, those are small busybodies. We are the real men with money. We don't go for wheelbarrows. That's the pride. But there is one point that I want to make here before I surrender the space to other people. In 1981, President Museveni decided to wage a war against us in government. I was an active member of government. I was working not very far from power. I was smelling the power fast because PAs are supposed to die faster, you know. So Museveni decided to leave us overnight from Speak Hotel with his 27 men and entered the bush. But there is one thing that I want Kenyans to understand and the viewers who are watching us, Miriam, is that Museveni did not go with these 27 troops to his home. He went to the biggest tribe, to the home of the biggest tribe called Baganda, and put a camp. Why was he not interested in taking the camp to Mbarara, where he is born in Nyabushozi? Why? I now want to bring you Kenyans direct and see the difference. If you can find the correlation between Museveni and Ruto. Ruto has decided the same way it looks like the teacher who is teaching Ruto is the same teacher who taught Museveni. If Museveni is not the one teaching, or the brother is not teaching Ruto, or Museveni teaching Ruto, then someone is teaching His Excellency the Deputy President of Kenya tactics of taking a war in the most populated area of the president, the backyard. Authoritatively, as a security man, I want to tell you, there is a danger. The earlier the government of Kenya watches this out, the better for the country. There is a danger. Why is it that the deputy president does not address any rally in Eldoret? Why? Are there no people who are suffering in Eldoret? Don't they need wheelbarrows? Don't they? In Nandi, don't they need wheelbarrows? In Kapsokoi, in Kapsaret, in Bandi Forest, in Erengoya Marakwet, they need the wheelbarrows. Why hasn't the deputy president taken wheelbarrows there first? Because whoever has mastered this strategy of dismembering Kenya has told the deputy president, don't start with your tribe, start with Kikuyu. Dismember them first. Tell them that your man is a bad guy, he ate your money. Have you seen the trick that this guy has done? Has poisoned the people this side. Has poisoned all thieves from Kajagwa. Moses Kuria, who doesn't pay debts. Moses has never paid my debt of 257,000 Kenya shillings for the money that I stood for him when he was in remand in industrial area. Hey! Lipa pesa zangu! Mimi am a refugee. Pay my money! Ichungwa has not paid my 880 euros. Ichungwa, lipa pesa zangu! Me, I'm a poor man, I'm not like you, who has been getting money from George Soros to build a house in Ritsuturu. I don't have a house from George Soros. I bought my house by washing toilets. I can't call myself a hustler because I'm not a pimp. In Britain, people can, if I go in the train and I say, I am a hustler, people run away from me and say, hey, boss, this is very serious. Then he picked this type of minds. Alice Wahome, who has never practiced even law. He can't win a case between a cat and a rat. Ngirichi, look at the people the Ruto has picked. Look at the background of Mrs. Ngirichi. I can't talk about the man because the man is with Uhuru Kenyatta. Look at the background of the people that Ruto has chosen to molest His Excellency the President. Mrs. Shole, Gladys Boss. Look at her background. She stole money in the court, in the Supreme Court. She was the registrar. Her case, I saw some of the files coming back. Woohoo! Chitaumana, sindio 17 months bado ziko. Chitaumana. Yenye muendelee. You continue destroying Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy. Today I'm speaking from another platform. Musinicheze. Yes. Hey. Mlete fungua yenye na tupigane. Gladys Shole, corrupt directly build hot air, said there's, and Mutunga said you have to go to jail. Is the Chief Justice's house in Kenya being used? I want you younger people on this show to interrogate. You are the people whom they are, we are going away. We are going away. God will call us. But you people, jameni, wacha niwaulize. Huyo mtu anazungumza kwa TV. Who is this Gladys Boss Shole calling Raila Odinga name? What has Raila Odinga done? To shake hands with Uhuru Kenyatta to stop carnage on the streets of Nairobi. Is it a problem? After this, I'll not talk until you reach Uganda or the other topics of the other countries. Let Miriam give me another 5 minutes or 6. So after Uhuru left this man in charge, he came back. You remember the story of the Bible, when the owner of the farm left the people and they said, look after my place. He came back to ask to look at the projects. All the projects, people, intelligence told him, sir, this man has eaten all the commission from the Chinese constructing, even the nails. Have you seen a man who steals nails? A misumari. Nails were stolen, cement, bars from the SGR. Yeah, Miriam, it is not a joke. People have built houses out of not even from their sweat. They tell the Chinese, as you go towards Suswa, drop 10 trailers of cement. So how can a person not build an empire? A swimming pool, a landing field that can take off marine type of helicopters and come down and go out. I'm told that even nails were stolen. All this intelligence is with his boss. The boss removed the veil yesterday. So we are talking what the president talked. That there is trouble. The center cannot hold. Things are falling apart. My friend is not working with me because he's busy stealing and telling lies, promising what he cannot deliver. Look at Moses Kuria. Can he survive without protection of Ruto? If he was left, if it is not that Uhuru Kenyatta is not vicious, the whole CDF money of Kiambu South has been gongered. So, Miriam, if you are looking for the safety of all this, you will see the truth. You will see that I've been saying and saying. Wesonga take this picture and send it to me, this one. You will see that I've been saying, the production team, I've been always very firm on this question. I said it on television. The president needs to reactivate his cabinet. He needs to see the people who are with him or not with him. If I were the deputy president, the best thing I would do is to resign.
All right.
Is to resign. So, I submit, Miriam.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Given that We have 17 months left. Do we continue to be in limbo? Does the legacy continue to be delayed? Do we have a president who cannot deliver development because the deputy is frustrating him? Why doesn't Ruto just do one honorable thing? Oppose the BBI and leave the government, let the referendum make a decision, and the Kenya moves on. I submit.
Thank you so much, Doc. Daniel Wesonga, I'm sure you watched what President Uhuru Kenyatta said yesterday, and according to the Sunday Nation, the saying gloves off as Uhuru stamps authority in his hometown turf. When you watch President Uhuru Kenyatta speak yesterday, what can you expect moving forward?
Miriam, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity, and I'll just go straight to the point. One, anyone who has been in the scope of the political discussions in Kenya understands that we're having a battery of politicians, mostly allied to the deputy president, who have been driving a notion that perhaps the president is a lame duck and he does not have a foothold in his own backyard of Mount Kenya region. Mm-hmm. And of course, as a man, as an African statesman, as an African person, you understand such the weight of such kind of words. Even in an African homestead, if you are told that as a man of the home, you do not have control of your own house, then it comes a time when you have to stamp authority. And yesterday, as so many people have said, the lion finally roared. And when it roared, you can see my good friend Douglas Kirimi Pundi there from Mount Kenya, Jevan Karanja. They went to witness that, and he has shown the world that he's still in command in Mount Kenya, and he's doing such in a resounding manner. And there's no way the deputy president and his allies will be able to come and subvert that will of the people in Mount Kenya. And one thing I can tell you, Miriam, I was in the lower parts of Eastern yesterday, and I can promise you, you can take it to the bank and it will earn you interest. The BBI process is going to pass, and Kenyans are going to vote for it resoundingly. And that is one thing you can bank on. As Dr. Masanga always says, we need a redemption strategy. And when you go to a common man on the ground, whatever they need is peace. They want unity. They want a government where they all feel that they are fairly represented and they benefit from the government of the day. Mm-hmm. So therefore, going forward, I believe the president is going to drum up support for the BBI. He's going to ensure that he leaves behind a legacy. And of course, with the support of the Mount Kenya backyard, we expect the president to have a very easy time and a smooth completion of his projects. And that is what he has been lacking, the goodwill from the leaders who William Ruto has hijacked along the way. So we are going to expect President Uhuru Kenyatta, who is so much determined to leave this country united and a progressive nation for the future.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that, Jevan Karanja. According to the Sunday Nation, President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday stamped his authority as the undisputed Central Kenya political kingpin, stating that anyone intending to seek the support of the vote-rich region in next year's election will have to seek his blessings. He said for once, the region may not have a serious presidential contender in 2022. His declaration as the regional leader was supported by governors, legislators, and other leaders in business, social, and religious circles drawn from Embu, Meru, Tharaka Nithi, Murang'a, Kirinyaga, Nakuru, Laikipia, Kiambu, Nyeri, Nyandarua. And yesterday, President Uhuru Kenyatta, I think for the first time, addressed this ongoing feud and disunity between him and his Deputy President William Ruto. What can we expect moving forward now from what you heard President Uhuru Kenyatta say yesterday? He did not mince his words.
Yeah, thank you very much, Miriam. And let me say that the meeting at Sagana is fantastic because it's still ongoing. This is that day from Friday, and a lot of things have been achieved. You know, the first day the MCAs came and they preached to support the BBI. Yesterday, the leaders that were present, they preached to support the BBI, and they reminded everybody else who is seeking votes from Mount Kenya region that President Uhuru Kenyatta remains the kingpin, remains the man of the house. Because, Miriam, you know, in every home, there is a person that you talk to if you want to get and to do business in that family. Or whether you want to get a wife from a certain tribe, you must get some elders who will talk with the father or the people around there. And in this case, President Uhuru Kenyatta is a man in the wheels. He's a man who is leading Mount Kenya region to its promised land. And one thing that we have seen, yesterday the president pointed out clearly the differences that have emerged between him and the deputy president. And he reminded those who were in attendance that when we were in Bomas, when President Uhuru Kenyatta was trying to show how he has involved the deputy president in all the process, where the deputy president submitted 3 names of the people who are part of the secretariat, who are part of the committee that went around collecting views from Kenyans. And you remember Deputy President waking up from his seat and going to tell in the back of President and murmuring some words in his ears, not to continue speaking that facts, not putting those, laying those facts in the floor in the BBI. And I know the panel can recall that very moment. And one thing that we have seen, it is a hypocrisy that the deputy president have used. As Dr. Masanga have said, he has intoxicated, he has come with poison, and he poisoned the members of parliament who follow him. And the president have said he is aware that they receive some allowances, they receive some tokens to keep them moving, to keep them sabotaging the president, to keep spreading the rumors. The president is aware of everything that is happening. And the one thing that he promised this country is that he wants to live a united country. And that is where we are. A country where everybody will be happy to come in Mount Kenya region and seek votes, to go to Nyanza, Rift Valley, without being heckled, without having youths who will come running and chasing you away. That is the kind of political environment that the president is determined to ensure. And to the people of Mount Kenya region, we might not have a serious presidential contestant in 2022, but what the region and other regions want is to have equitable sharing of the resources. And that is why we have a slogan that was getting momentum and is still on the mouths of many Mount Kenya residents of 1 man, 1 vote, 1 shillings. And the president has promised the Mountain Kenya region that through the BBI, the number of constituencies that will be added here will increase the amount of bursaries to the people. That is the development that we need. And you saw this kind of wheelbarrow mentality that have been there. The people on the ground, they are starting to see the sense of what BBI means. And the time will come when people will hit the campaign and the people will see what the BBI means to the people of Mount Kenya region and the entire Kenya, because you'll have a chance to read, interpret, reread, and see what is contained in this document. Today, they have been telling us that the president is a man who is not courageous enough to face the ground. As I was coming to the show, I passed a place called Shaka. President was there in the Shaka market, and the number of people who came out to see the president, there were many. This says one thing: people in the ground, they read from the same script with the president. They see the development that he has done. They see the roads, the railway line, and everything else. That is why they came out to see and to celebrate him, because he is keeping the promises that he promised during the campaign. Therefore, anybody who had a contrary thought that the president has lost grips of his people, they should go back and see the mood that was in Shaka, so that they can understand where we are heading to. Right. And nobody, and this president have said, and repeatedly, if you want to get votes from Mount Kenya region, John Michuki, the late minister, appointed, and he said it around 2010, that if you want to get to this region, the gateway is through President Uhuru Kenyatta. That have not changed. And the deputy president, Kalonzo Musyoka, former prime minister, President Uhuru Kenyatta, hana deni ya mutu. You come and sell your manifesto, the people will decide. Nobody owes anybody political debt. Okay. What President Uhuru owes the people of Kenya is development, and that is what he is keeping, and that is what he is delivering. Okay. And Kidi is a witness, Wesonga is a witness. When you go to their constituency, there's a national project that is ongoing or is around completion. All thank right. you.
Thank you. Very well said there, Jevan Karanja. Kidi, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. While President Uhuru Kenyatta was speaking yesterday, he mentioned something very interesting there, a rather thorny issue, matters to do with corruption. And this is what he said: your money is stolen, then you're given back that same money in the pretext of assistance. Don't you people think that was a direct, a targeted, wording, because who has been giving these monies? And President Uhuru Kenyatta, while speaking, he said, this money is being given and is being floated around in the name of empowering you people. This money has been stolen. This is your money. And then somebody is bringing you back, and then you're celebrating him because he's out here trying to empower you. Don't you people think? Mm-hmm.
Yes. Thank you very much, Miriam. One thing that historians will concur on when they settle down to write the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta is that President Uhuru Kenyatta, especially in his second term, has introduced decency to politics. And he has done what for a long time people thought is non-existent, that we can have politics of decency. Truth is, Deputy President William Ruto has presided over massive corruption that if President Uhuru Kenyatta were to even rely on a propaganda machine to just bring out the facts without getting into the propaganda, William Ruto would have no face in this country. But then, if you permit me a chance to elaborate kidogo too, is that one, Deputy President William Ruto, in the second term, even went ahead to have a CS in cabinet, a CS who would drive around Nairobi in a government vehicle, collecting money from parastatals and ministries in hard cash, loaded into sacks, put in government vehicles, and driven to Karen. But then, that is part of why we must move from pure presidential system. Because people are saying that why did President Uhuru Kenyatta stop it then? Pure presidential system, as it is structured, is that with the MPs around the deputy president, with the political capital that, a deputy president generally would enjoy in a presidential system, if and when he were to allege political persecution, then it was, and especially coming in against the backdrop of a hotly contested presidential election, acting decisively, we had to make a balance between the national interest and letting the institutions that are mandated to work. And you remember, when the institutions began to work, what did they do? They quickly retreated back to their communities and alleged that the president was persecuting them. The best part about it is that the deputy president was trying to use Central Kenya backyard to twist the president into letting him continue with these bad manners. And the people of Central Kenya came to Sagana, and their resolution, if you asked me in one word, I would say they said, Mulika Mkora. Thank you so much, Miriam.
Okay. Douglas.
Yes, and Miriam, yes. Maybe just to give that to what Kidi has said, and I remember Dr. Masanga mentioned about the partnership between President Yoweri Museveni and William Ruto. And it is not a secret within the intelligence circles that we have a lot of money, Kenyan money, money stolen from public coffers, which is stashed in overseas bank accounts, and which William Ruto wanted to get back into the country through Ugandan government. And because that plan has failed, that is why you see him doing all kinds of manner of things. But the truth is, Kenya has lost a lot of money. Even when the president says that they lose close to 2 billion in a day, just know the rot is so much deep into the system, Miriam, and it is because of the deputy president that we are having such corruption scandals in the country.
Okay.
And Miriam, another truth is on corruption still, that Deputy President William Ruto took about 5 years putting in place a corrupt network and cartel. And you do not come and dismantle a system, a network within a day. Because today you realize that he even still has the Ministry of Energy at his beck and call. He still has a few other ministries that he may still have his people, the Ketens of this world, so that they've only been scared. But we've not been able to entirely root out that network, corrupt network. So when the president is talking about this 2 billion that they loot in a day, the president knows what he's talking about.
Okay.
But you realize that he is so decent that he is not willing to engage in political persecution. Thank you.
All right, very well. But also, I think President Uhuru Kenyatta seems like he had had enough, and he was not going to. He was going to talk as he feels and what he's been observing, especially matters corruption. There, he continues to say, "You see them come here to tell you, oh, you have been neglected, and throwing some few coins your way to hoodwink you. It's the same money they have looted, your resources, and then when they bring it to you, just take it, but don't be hoodwinked." Douglas Budi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Miriam, and also good afternoon to Dr. David Matsanga from the Political Command Center in London, Kidi Mwaga, my friend Ghana Ambassador Ghana Maina, Jevan Karanja, and also my friend Sean Wesonga. Thank you for having me on the show.
Ulikuwa Sagana. Yes, I'm bringing them in. Douglas, just make your point on that, and then I'm coming to Ambassador and to Professor.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Miriam. I read a lot of pieces in newspaper and social media, people saying the mountain has erupted. The mountain has not erupted. The king is home. Yesterday, we went there as grassroots leaders across Mount Kenya region to witness, and actually diaspora was represented, and also people were there. The President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, was very candid. He told William Ruto, the people of Kenya, that William Ruto can no longer continue besmirching him and also his development projects in Mount Kenya region. He said if William Ruto wants to go and tell the people of Mount Kenya what he has done, those projects are not done from the rooftops of those cars that he moves around with. And also the next thing, the president said that if you want to run for president, go run for president, build your roads, bring your electricity, bring water, give people title deeds, then go tell them what you have done. What the president has done is for the people of Kenya, and it is under the Kenyatta administration. If William Ruto wants to come to Mount Kenya and besmirch the president and also talk evil about the president, who is our regional kingpin in this country, Miriam, we cannot run away from the fact that the president of the Republic of Kenya is the leader of Mount Kenya region. And we saw yesterday, and also we reminded the president that even post-2022, the election that William Ruto is waiting for, we don't care what happens. The president remains our king, and there is nothing that is going to change our stand. Remember, Miriam, the Kikuyu people, the Meru people, the Embu people that were represented there is the people of Laikipia. We don't care about William Ruto, and we don't care about him. Whatever he has done before, we have forgiven him. But what he has been doing, telling people that the development record in the Jubilee administration is emanating from Arambia Next. What we know is that the president even reminded us what emanates from Karen and also Arambia Next is corruption around. Development projects are initiated and also implemented from the State House of the Republic of Kenya. Again, Miriam, as the people of Mount Kenya, we have declared that we cannot allow the people who have been stealing from governments, also committing economic crimes against the people of Kenya, to continue besmirching the President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta. Again, Miriam, of importance that I need to note is that the President himself said that these people who have been voting for the Kenyatta, for President Kenyatta, and also who have been hanging on his name are the same corrupt leaders, because every upright leader was in Sagana yesterday. I was there myself. I was a few meters from where the presidential dais was, and one thing I can tell you is that the only corrupt people like Rigathi Gachagua, where the Sagana State Road is located, who was the student of 100 billion public money, and also people like Kangata who have been stealing from Nairobi City County through his previous law firm. All these corrupt people coalesce around the deputy president, all the upright leaders in Mount Kenya region, including in Meru. The senator is a thief. He has stolen from government roads that he has been building through his Atecoin road, construction roads limited. What has happened is that these people...
Just a minute. Is it the Meru senator whom the wife said it doesn't deliver?
Yes.
No, I was just...
So, Miriam...
if a wife in Africa says you don't deliver, then you have nothing.
That's a personal matter.
So that is
go
not
ahead, Douglas.
It is a shame to an African man.
No,
for a wife to tell the public.
Others also medical conditions. Others also medical conditions. Those are personal. Go ahead, Douglas.
No, it's not personal.
Others are medical conditions. Others are medical conditions. You understand?
When you go to attack the president, you bring personal issues. So we are also bringing personal issues here.
Daktari,
Is that the senator? Answer me yes or no. I'm not going to say wrong. Yes or no.
Can you answer that and then we can talk about issues? Yeah.
Daktari, Miriam.
Yeah.
Briefly, sorry. On the same thing that Daktari has brought
because
up.
of the interest of time, I really wanted us to really move very quickly with this matter. Yeah. So Douglas,
Miriam,
yes.
let me ask you one question. I'm from very far from you. I am only asking to know. I defend the legacy of the president. Okay. I want to know, is this the male senator whom the wife said he doesn't deliver? It means if you don't deliver, then you have not delivered the roads. That's all I'm asking. I'm not going any further. I want my friend from Meru to answer me, yes or no.
Maybe Douglas will tell us
somebody answer that and then we move on. Yes.
Such a man should be given an opportunity to speak where elders are speaking.
All right, so let's just move along. Douglas, you will complete your thought. I need to go to Ambassador, also has been waiting to say something, and Professor, complete your thought. Answer, Doctor. Doctor wants to know that issue. Douglas
Douglas
disappeared.
has sublimed.
Oh, sorry. Maybe he had a problem with his signal there. Thank you so much. He shall come back and complete his thought. He was at the Sagana State Lodge yesterday, so I'm sure he has some first-hand information from that meeting that President Uhuru Kenyatta had with the leadership from that region, and I think he's still continuing meeting there today. I'll go to Ambassador Maina Ghana. I don't know if you've been following the events that have been happening here in Kenya, particularly between President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy, and yesterday President Uhuru Kenyatta seems to have had enough, and from what he seems to have he said enough is enough, I have stomached enough, and now we have to speak the truth as it is. So I don't know if you've been observing the issues and what you make of the now. It's an open secret now. I mean, the fallout is out there. Ambassador.
Hey, good evening, everyone. I'm not following lately the political Kenyan, but the only things I know that the whole international news are talking about the division between the two. I don't know, maybe Dr. Masanga or Professor Onyari can teach me what is the difference between the hustlers versus the others. I don't know which one is running the country now. So the politics, I'm seeing that if this is the way we are going, is going to handle a lot of our democracy, especially right now we are taking Kenya as a role model in the democracy in Africa. So we cannot allow any person to come at least, to draw it down with all the effort Kenya has made, at least to move the country forward. Mm-hmm. We all know that President Uhuru Kenyatta has done really well.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Thank you very much. I think he asked me. We shall teach you offline about the Kenyan politics, but Mr. Douglas has come back. He's on the line.
All right.
Go ahead, Mr. Douglas.
But I will teach you today between 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock of Kenyan time. I have a show from today. I have a very nice show. I will teach you on that one, Ambassador. Thank you.
Douglas.
So Douglas,
thank you.
Douglas, go ahead and thank you so much, Ambassador. I know we will come to other matters across Africa, Uganda, and the rest. I'm sure you're well versed with that. Douglas, are you back?
Yes, Miriam, and thank you, Dr. Masanga. Thank you, Ambassador Maina. One thing we need to understand about the Mount Kenya issue is that in this country, we cannot wake up and go to Eldoret. We have never seen, except when the president is taking development to Eldoret, we have never seen the president in Sugoi, whereas the deputy comes from Sugoi. We have never seen the president in Talbo constituency on Kalmagut. We have never seen the president in any other part of the country besmirching their leaders. So what the people of Mount Kenya sent the president yesterday is he needs to sack everyone. The president asked for permission from Mount Kenya people and said, if you give me permission, nobody will sleep on their jobs again. And actually, figuratively, nobody will sleep employed that night. And the people of Mount Kenya woke up in one accord and told the president over 7,000 delegates and told him, go and sack everyone. Okay. Because at this point, we cannot let our leader be disrespected. Apart from being the president of the Republic of Kenya, this was a purely Mount Kenya affair, and we were called by our leader, And we said yesterday, and it is clear in black and white that we don't want William Ruto continuing taking advantage of the President of the Republic of Kenya. And for Deputy President to continue coming to Mount Kenya, it is no longer tenable. The people have refused. And again, Miriam, the President had given the Deputy President a big leeway in Mount Kenya region. Again, those people who have been besmirching the President, the people like Rigathi Gachagua, corrupt billionaires who have never created a single industry. Miriam, show me an industry which is called Rigathi Gachagua and Sons Limited in Nairobi. It is only pure corruption and nothing else. He has stolen from the poor people of any county. When his governor, the rich brother, was sick in hospital, he stole a lot of money and took it, and now this is the money that he uses to besmirch the president. And again, these are the same thieves who are also moving around Mount Kenya telling us the president has done this and this. Again, will Rigathi Gachagua come and tell us to elect his son again?
Okay.
Again, Miriam, for the people of Mount Kenya to continue with their leader, there is no problem with that. And I also find nothing for myself to have taken myself to Sagana and listened to the President of the Republic of Kenya. One thing I wrote to the people of Mount Kenya is stamping the authority and saying that the President said in Kikuyu that this grass belongs to someone else. These projects belong to the Kenyatta administration. If William Ruto wants to come and also sit on President Uhuru Kenyatta in his Mount Kenya backyard, he needs to come and do projects in Mount Kenya as president, not as a deputy.
Okay.
Again, as the people from the mountain, we are very happy that our leaders come back home and also declared war on corrupt people and also people in government.
All right,
if we had the powers to give the president yesterday, we would have sacked the deputy president last night. But we are waiting for impeachment from ANC so that we can send that corrupt man home, Miriam.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
So
thank you.
this
And
is
the
what
deputy
also.
senator who doesn't deliver.
Okay.
He doesn't deliver everywhere. Very useless man is going home. We have no time with him. The people have refused.
Senators.
Yes, Governor Kiraito Murungi has said that we need to replace people that insulted the president, and we have shown. So I'm capable of running for Senate in Meru, and if this guy continues insulting the president, we are going to chase him away. We have no time for such people in Mount Kenya region.
Thank
you. Him away.
All right, very well. Thank you so much. So now, this is what also President Uhuru Kenyatta said before our professor comes in. Some have been saying we have a political pact and agreement. That is incorrect. The only covenant I have is with the people of Kenya. I promise I'm keeping and intend to fulfill to the end of my term. Why can't he allow me to do my work and stop coming for the leadership baton? Why is he impatient? He said in a reference to his deputy, William Ruto. Professor, very good afternoon to you, and I don't know if you watched President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday and what you make of all that.
Yeah, good afternoon, Miriam, Dr. Masanga, Chavan, Douglas, Kidi, Maina, and our viewers, wherever they are, this afternoon or morning, wherever they are. So the question you have asked me, there is no covenant between the deputy president and the president himself. If the president, Miriam, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, has categorically said so, who am I, Miriam, to say the otherwise? If you have any instrument of coercions or convictions that you have agreed, Miriam, you depose them at the registrar or the office of registrar of political parties. As it is now, Miriam, there is nothing in existence. What you know, Miriam, and what I can say, I can remember of the deputy president, Miriam, is I used to see him in a white shirt and a white tie, and they're marching and walking with the president. That was way back 2013. But you know very well that 2013, 2017, Miriam, you go to the account of the deputy president, Miriam, you will see the money which has been looted from the people of Kenya. It doesn't take rocket science to know that who has looted from the people of Kenya, Miriam. We are 47 million Kenyans. Miriam, you want to tell me that the deputy president is the only one who is rich, who can go to a church with a sack, with bags, giving people? He's the only man whom God has blessed to be buying bongoten and wheelbarrows to give to the young people, Miriam. So I entirely agree with what the other panelists have said. And I want for avoidance of doubt, Miriam, that the president set the record straight. There is no single day, Miriam, and bear me and help me, The president has said that he will not support the deputy president. Has he? What we have said that is the deputy president who has run away, not assisting the president to complete his 5 years to make 10 years in office. So the president has got a covenant with the people of Kenya. And that's why it's working. And he categorically said, Miriam, you cannot go to someone's home. And then he started inciting people. So the meeting which happened in Sagana and the people of Mount Kenya have spoken. They have given a reward. Miriam, wait and see. If you read the history how Jomo Kenyatta used to work, he used to ask permission from the people, and once the people give him permission, he goes and acts. Wait for the coming days. You are going to see any of the civil servants, Miriam, who are not after working for the legacy of the president, they will be sacked and they will go home. Miriam is totally unattainable. I have seen, and that's why I say that mine has said that the democracy in Kenya, Miriam, this is the only country where Miriam have seen the president talks and the deputy contradicting. I have never seen it. Dr. Masanga, perhaps you educate me where you have seen this happen, that the president says this and the deputy president speaks this. In fact, do you know, Miriam, that the opposition in this country are very supportive of the president? And imagine if they could have behaved the way the deputy president is behaving, Miriam. We wouldn't have a country.
Tell Professor Enari, if the deputy president of Chad can talk like this, you have to talk at the airport when his private jet is ready to take off. After you finish, you take off and you come to Europe, we give you a refugee.
Asylum.
I was going to
Thank you, Ambassador. Thank you. Thank you, Ambassador.
Thank you very much, Ambassador, for bringing it.
Thank you.
I was going to tell him in Chad, you put the plane on the tarmac runway.
You know, we have a small river between Chad and Cameroon in Kuseri. Maybe you go the other side in Cameroon, he talk. After he drive, you go.
So Miriam,
yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Maina. Thank you, Dr. Masanga. You can hear what happens, Miriam.
It's out of order.
Miriam, I have demonstrated here, and this is what Kid has said, Miriam. Dr. William Ruto, Miriam, we were in university together. I have spent all my years reading, but I've seen him getting papers and getting money. He cannot bring us the pay slip, Miriam. He cannot give us areas where he has taken loans. So, Miriam, he doesn't have an industry. So we can be able to say this is the match he had in 2002 to 2007.
Yes.
You can say this is the money he had 2007 to 2013.
So this guy was your OB.
How much money he has made 2013, 2017. And how much money he has made between the handshake and now, Miriam. And you put that graph. So, Miriam, people have been claiming the president cannot has not acted in good in time. You know, in the first term, 2013, 2017, the president was hostage. He could not take action. He told him he could have gone to him, the man could have championed the opposition, and they could have impeached the president. But thank God that the prime minister said that we cannot go this way. The country cannot be rooted. Let us shake hands and let us have a redemption strategy. And that's working. And as Douglas has said, I hope the motion of impeachment from the ANC, from Musa Mudavadi's part, it comes forward, Miriam. Miriam, when you see Mudavadi coming to say that he's coming for an impeachment, you know what kind of person Musari is. So, Miriam, for those of us who want President Moi to leave a legacy in this country, that's why we continue singing day and night that we should come together. And Miriam, look here this. We want to amend the constitution, to unite the country, to fight corruption, to bring in inclusivity, to have shared prosperity, and you have the deputy president with no shame going to incite people. Miriam, it can't happen. It can't happen. And it must come to an end. And I hope if he continues, they should not have any meeting, even if we have got that freedom of movement and the freedom of having a meeting, it should not be going to the backyard of the president to undermine him. It is totally unacceptable. I submit.
All right.
Yes, Miriam, let me just
No. Thank you. The Miriam has to move first. You will rejoin her. Yes, let's control it that way. Miriam.
All right, thank you so much, Daniel, because I wanted to close the matter. We go to another.
You can finish the rest on your radio in evening. Let's move.
All right, Doctor, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. In summary, the points are very clear. You cannot come, my Ambassador Maina. You cannot be in the same government, eat the same government, smoke the same government, enjoy the same protection of the same government. But when you leave the offices, you go under condemn the same government, condemn the same president, belittle the same president, besmirch his name, prostitute. You know, a hustler is a prostitute. Prostitute the name. You know, hustlers are prostitutes. So Ruto prostitutes Uhuru Kenyatta's name. You know, you cannot have both. You must have one. Even the disciples of Jesus Christ, Jews left everything. Some were fishermen. They left the job of fishing and they came to be the disciples of the Son of God. They never went back to fishing. Can you tell me the Bible? Ruto claims to be reading the Bible. Can he tell me where he saw people going to fish again in Galilee? Then they come to serve Jesus. Did you see Peter going to fish? Wasn't Peter a fishmonger? Who was one of them who was a fishmonger? A Peter who was found fishing. And Jesus converted them. And you have not seen them going back. Either you are with the president or you back under ship. The only problem we have here, Miriam, 2 minutes. We have a people whose morality has decayed. And I'm shocked today that Professor Onyadi studied with this thief. You are no P of this thief. Were you in the same school? In the same year?
No, we started in the same period in the university. I was in Egerton when I was in Nairobi University.
Oh my God!
But we used to meet this when we used to have.
Good you started in Egerton because you would have through osmosis theft would have entered you. So I am very happy.
You would have become a branded thief.
Yes, this man has never known. You're asking a payslip. Does Ruto know what a payslip is?
He's never been employed anywhere. He's a thief.
But if you ask me to show you my payslip from 1975, I will show you. In 1975, I was earning 623 shillings of Kenya money from fine art printers in Kampala. I was working after finishing. I went to work as accounts clerk while I was studying. You remember my father said study theology or study business. My father was fighting, took me to a bishop college, Taka Mukono. I managed to, my uncles refused, they took me. So I earned 623 shillings. Uganda money under Idi Amin. I can show you my pay slips. I've kept them. Mom, you are watching me. You have kept them up to today. In Tanzania, I was working for 1 shilling per day as a gardener. A gardener, mutu yakus, not with a more, with a slasher. 30 shillings. And you know, that time, 30 shillings of Tanzanian money was very great. When I came back, when we arrived in Kampala, in the political commission, I was working. But by then, money was, I started getting 50,000 of Uganda money of that time. Idi Amin stole everything and we were reduced. I have a pay slip. Obote came to power, I have a pay slip. I can show you as a personal assistant of Obote with a pay slip. So, but where did this man work? Nowhere. Where did he get the chicken? A parasite. You know, a tick that sticks on Moi and draws Moi's blood, then demonizes Moi. A tick that steals using Kenyatta's name and demonizes Kenyatta. That's the man we have. So, in summary, watch out, you people. Watch out. In summary, watch out. And you are Kenyans, I just want to give you this good advice. Maina has told you, in some other countries, you must prepare your departure, then issue a statement across the border. In Kenya, the man is issuing the statement. But watch out. Is Museveni training someone to create you chaos? Be careful. The man told Uhuru, told Ruto to go, don't touch any other tribe. Touch the biggest tribe, which is the Kikuyu. There you will find so many disgruntled people who hate Uhuru Kenyatta. Touch a kingdom where Obote is not popular. You remember? Remember what Museveni up to today? It was only yesterday, but one, when he is called President Obote, Mzee Obote. Only after all these years, 42 years, he has never called President Obote Mzee. He called him swine, a dog, a what? But yesterday,
this was the situation in Moyo as the National Resistance Movement
supported. He sees Chagulani bringing history. You people remember in Kenya, there is someone teaching this guy to do the wazo, imaneno. Nyenye mchunge, because the bigger tribe is already in until yesterday. And today, the president is molding it back. From there, when this guy comes that side, mwache azungumize. Lakini kama awambia kitu ambayo ina insult, don't accept. Don't beat him. Don't throw stones. Tell him, we know your tricks. We know what you are doing. You want to divide this country. You want to cause a war in Kapedo. Kapedo. Where is Kapedo? Kapedo is near Karamoja. Why are we not talking the truth? Why is Natembe crying? Now the bandits have run back. Have you seen the problem, you people Kenyans? You think I always shout for this country for what? Miriam, where are the bandits? Sindio sasa hakuna bandit, hakuna policeman anakufa. Is there a policeman dying now? So where are the bandits? Where are the bandits? Muniambie. And every time you think Matanga talks, I am now telling you, the bandits have run off. They have returned to the base. It is a trial. You people, you are there, Muangalie. Kidi, am I wrong? Maina, Nani, am I wrong here? The bandits.
You're right, Daktari.
They have gone back. They have gone back.
Yes.
Someone is creating an insurgency to back up his political might. President Uhuru Kenyatta, listen to me. The intelligence, listen. Someone is backing up a political journey with insurgents. Where Natembeya says they chase them and they are running back to West Pokot. And enter, and through Turkana enter. Where? Where do they go? The other side, you cannot go with guns. You can only go across Uganda if you are part of the gun, isn't it? Now you people, I want the people on this panel, Kenyans, to observe, to look around, especially you younger men who do research. Research seriously about this Kapedo. 200 men disappeared with several guns, grenades, and so on. Now, Natembeya says they are going back. They have disappeared. Today disappear with the cattle. Today walk back. Are they airlifted by helicopter? Who gives them support to land where? So thank you very much, Miriam. The president's legacy from the political command center in London is well safeguarded. We shall safeguard it. We shall defend it from today. Glove to glove, sand to sand, soil to soil, air to air, land, air, and the sea. Tomahawks are going to be there. You touch the president, we touch you. You rattle him, we rattle you. And the president is going to go forward. Kisumu is loading. Nyanza is loading. Sagana 4 is loading.
Yes,
I saw Kid inspecting buildings where we can host. Loading. We are going there. Baba, you kuja, wewe kuja na hustler zako. The legacy must be defended. Right. And we are not going to shy from defending Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Okay. By the way, Miriam, let me finish these two topics so that I don't come to speak, I leave the younger men to speak. The ICC and the Kwagamaya. Mr. Ruto, understand, if I were you, I would get very worried. That's the conclusion. The rest you can discuss. Okay. Because what I've seen there is not very good. Of returning, there is a topic there of ICC. Was the ICC right to surrender Mr. Gichero to return to Kenya? Is wrong. I don't see any security that will have 24 hours. He's a man who took a laptop and his phone, and all the details indicate to whom he was communicating with. So you are returning him to his death hunger, or what? So for me, I close my submission by saying the journey is still very far. Mm-hmm. If I were someone, I would weigh the options and respect President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta to finish his term. He unites the country. You can come up and win and lead the country. If you touch the president at the moment, I'm a conflict resolution mediator and a solution man. The solution is just withdraw, remain getting your salary, or ship out and create a no camp. This is it. It's no camp. Walaya Mungu. Let's see this no camp. If we shall not defeat it by 12 midday. Kenyans are understanding. No Kenyan wants to go to violence. No Kenyan wants to go to violence. Ruto wants to take Kenyan to violence by saying hustler. He's covering himself under hustler to create insurgency in those areas near the border and Kapedo and in Mount Kenya itself. Get the youth to arm them, slot arms. What they were the arms? What the helicopters that died in Kapedo? What were they doing in Kapedo? Carrying what? Whose money was it? You think the president does not have intelligence? Where were Terere?
All right, Doc, thank you so much. So now let's just get to our next topic, and that is on Uganda. And as we know, according to the New York Times, the United States is considering action against the government of President Yoweri Museveni, longtime ally who has crushed dissent at home. The European Union has also expressed its concern. The fallout from this month's hotly contested Ugandan election is shaking the nation and drawing international rebuke. And as we speak, the verdict on a leader of the Lord's Resistance Army raises hopes of justice for victims of atrocities the rebel group perpetrated in Uganda. Dominic Ongwen is the first leader of the group on trial at the International Criminal Court with a verdict due. on February 4th. Even as the ICC cases there continues, Doctor, perhaps you'll open for us. Is there something perhaps President Yoweri Museveni can learn in line with the brutality that we've seen from the police in the recent past? And even Bobi Wine, I think a couple of just before the election, said he wants to go file a case at the International Criminal Court against President Museveni and the police in that country. So, I mean, open for us and put everything into context.
Quickly, point one, Uganda is a member of International Criminal Court. It ratified the 1998 Treaty of Rome, where I was part and a parcel in the building in Rome. 2, Uganda has a domesticated court of the ICC. Domesticated in the sense you cannot export any other Uganda after my agreement that I signed in Juba, bringing an end to the 23-year-old war, a brutal war, returning 120,000 men, trained, combat, and other guns surrendered to the Ugandan government. 3, Ongwen was arrested in the Central African Republic. If there are crimes that he committed in Central African Republic, you can charge him. But the Ugandan crimes are chargeable in Ugandan court. What ICC should have done was to surrender Ongwen to the Ugandan court to charge Ongwen, and he goes through the process of mataput, the process of alternative criminal justice system, of reconciliation, restoration, of jumping an egg, returning animals to the people whom you have raped and killed. Northern Uganda was the first one. I did that agreement. They did Mataput. Most of the LRA commanders are today the biggest supporters of NRM government, including one tough, tall guy who is now, whom I cannot mention, because Museveni can get annoyed and demote him. But he knows himself. So, that is the agreement that I hammered. If Mr. Ongwen has performed any action in the Central African Republic, you can charge him.
No, he's
but
answering.
On the original, yes.
He's answering to what the LRA did in Uganda, not the Central Africa. That's why he's at the.
If he's answering, that is why I'm telling you, if he's answering on the LRA did in Uganda,
yes,
we finished it. Ugandans did a redemption strategy. They forgave all the people of LRA, including Kony. The report is there in the UN. Because Museveni is equally culpable. There are 8 commanders of the Museveni UPDF or NRA who should be arraigned along Ongwen. So where are they? Where are they? Wako wapi? Where? Wako wapi? They are supposed to be there. 4 have died, 4 are alive. Uliza mimi, niko na document hizo zote. We don't want to open a Pandora box. Because when I shook hands, I did not shake hands to come back on the box. But usicheze na watu wewe mzee. Wewe. Don't. If you charge Ongwen, sentence Ongwen, you better sentence the 4 commanders who went to northern Uganda to bury Acholi, Lango, Karamojongs, West Nile alive. They are still there. Because they are Luo. Because they look like a Raila Odinga. So you hate. You hate them. You bury them. Don't talk lies here. People don't know. our people. I am not a Luo. I am Bantu. But I stood in the middle to stop the carnage. I stood in the middle to speak up, to save the community of Luo. I'm a true example of patriotic African. If I had not stood up, there would be no Luo still breathing there. So when a child, or when he was abducted, Miriam, somebody comes to your house, abducts your son, God forbid, and arms your son, and tells your son to go to Nairobi City, to go and kill, bring each day a dead body, a head, to show you have killed. Do you now blame the son, or you blame the person?
So when at that time, doctor, he was a child soldier?
Yes, okay. He was 12.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Does a 12-year-old kill on his own?
Absolutely not.
Answer me, the panel. A 12-year-old, he kills.
The answer is no.
A 12-year-old with a gun and a firing squad. When he looks at the person who came with nothing, is fired, is killed. Tomorrow he will also be forced to kill in order to go with one finger or one arm to show I killed and I cut the arm. So, when should be released on one diminished returns. Am I wrong, Lawyer Kiddy?
You're right.
And they were stronger.
Doctor, you're right.
Diminished returns.
Yes.
Ebintu byagwamu. Una tena na mchuzi.
Yes.
You are useless. Mchuzi. The soup becomes soupless. The man had to kill. He had reached there. If you come with nothing, you will be eliminated. So most of these commanders who took off were given orders by Kony that if you come back with nothing, you better dig a hole and die. Die where and go where? I want to reveal to you that when I had planned to take Onwen using the UN helicopter away, he told me he wanted to go back home. We discussed with Riaka Machada Rukunda how to smuggle him out of Kony. He gave me his children to bring. He gave me his wife to deliver to UNICEF. UNICEF, this man talking here. Don't talk nonsense here. Museveni, what? He gave me, I carried those people, delivered it to UNICEF, anybody, with Chisano. The boy had prepared to go, to leave the army, because he was a child. He was one of the few sensible people within the LRA. And when they put the evidence, you will see what most of us have said as experts. So I can't speak beyond this because that is exactly the defense. This guy was told to kill. If you don't kill, don't come back to the camp. Now, do you kill him? 2, Uganda has got a system working. Uganda system can imprison you on ICC cases. Do we charge our people there? Or we do what? Do we take them there? That's why I've told you, Chagulanyi and the rest, basically I told them, don't waste your time about taking the case to the ICC in the Hague. Bring me the documents. I write, we deliver them in Kampala court. There is a court in Kampala. I swear in the name of God. It works on ICC level. It will summon President Museveni. In fact, when Museveni saw you collecting signatures to take them to the Hague, didn't you see Museveni laughing? He laughed, isn't it? Because he knew that these people don't know the direction. The only guy who knows the direction is Dr. David Masaka. I could have filed those applications in Kampala, where there is Byamukama, the man who has messed the election, was the presiding judge of the ICC. And another judge called Kiza.
So Doctor, so if Byamukama was the presiding judge of the ICC, what kind of justice
I don't know how the
what kind of justice can be gotten from that court?
Okay, Miriam, yes. In a nutshell, this case is coming back for ruling
on the 4th of February. That is
yes.
Next week.
Whichever way, the verdict is 30 years. He will do 15 years. He's still a younger man. The state will find him a new identity to go either in Venezuela or wherever it is, if he's still alive. In good manners, 30 years, he will do 15. There's no death sentence in the ICC. So even Ruto should not have got worried. But he doesn't give us friends. Ruto anasema watu ana deni ya watu. Ako na deni yangu. Yangu iko ya, he never came to say thank you. Hiyo deni kubwa sana. Ruto and the son never came to thank me. And the Sang recently insulted me. Sang. Wait.
He should be very worried.
I'm an elder.
Yeah.
I'm 65 years old. Mzee Ruto anasema, Jupiter anasema, ana deni ya watu. Has he ever called me to drink tea in his office? Is there any Kenyan who did not see me selling my cars to go and buy tickets? Has he ever called me? Ako na deni. As long as you have deni ya huyu mtu angalia. Huyu. Wacha nitoe garuvindu uone. Huyu ako na damu mbaya sana. As long as you have deni yangu. You have not even come to say thank you to me for what I suffered. Walai, your presidency itakuwa ngumu. Wewe endelea kufanya kazi na Museveni. Wewe, kweli. I sat down, you and your wife, in Sheraton Hotel in The Hague. Move on the deni yangu. Wacha nitoboe leo wa Kenya wasikie. Don't ask me any more fucking questions. Again, I'm annoyed. Miriam. And the man went to pay you. He pays the people who wanted him to be jailed. He pays Hassan Omar. He pays Moses Kuria. I am a poor man. I sold my car to run to help them. I sold my cars, my logbook to Wamatiangi, senator of Kiambu, to give me money in order to fly to The Hague, to fight outside in the cold, when the man did not even want to see me. The last time he saw me, let him come out and say he did not see Matanga in Sheraton Hotel. I will produce the video. Wewe unachezanga na watu. You did not take the pen, that pen. You did not. 6 hours. I told you these cases are over. Was I doing it for you to come and molest Uhuru Kenyatta? Wewe uko na deni yangu bwana. Lipa. I don't want money. I just want to say thank you. I didn't say me asante sana David Matanga. Lakini kunizarau. Anawacha watu yake wanizarau, wananigombanisha, they insult me, hippopotamus, he's big man, fat stomach. Wewe, me one man alone, I've finished you also. Angalia pande hii unaona, one man I have finished the Ruto side. Stupidity. Stupid boys. Some of them have no shoes, even they want to talk to Matanga, who has the shoes. Sure. Man who comes from a royal blood. Sure. When? Shoes. Right, what shoes do you have?
Doctor,
I bought my shoes. My father was poor. I've shown you my first pay slip. 623 shillings of Uganda money. Show me your pay slip, Ruto. Show me. Don't because you think because of Kenya. I'll speak from London where I am. Haki ya Mungu tena hii London inaweza where you might not even travel there. Where cheza na Matanga. You might not travel there, Ruto. Hiyo nakwambia wazi leo. Until you respect me. Uwezi kukanyaga huko. Uliza watu wakuambie. You respect me. I'm an elder, 65 years old. Niko na watoto tena wangu. I don't want to tell you. They are very productive. They don't steal. If I find one has stolen, he better goes to Atlantic Ocean before I see him. Nakwambia wazi Miriam today, I think wache choke. Na nasema ana deni. Uko na deni ya mtu. Unasema una deni, you have not even said thank you. Thank you to a man like me who did everything for you. Who sat down you and your wife and pumped sense in the case and said there is no case, you don't have a case. After that, 3 to 4 months, the chief prosecutor called off the case. Is that not a brain? You gave lawyers money, you never came. I don't want your money. I wanted you to come and say thank you, Ruto. Ruto come and say thank you to me, angalia macho yangu. Walaya ya Mungu, angalia. If you don't,
Dr. Masanga, don't eat Kuren a lot of money.
Thank you. So, Miriam, on the question of ICC, the trouble is on the way. It is there. I told the Kenyans, and Professor Nyari was with me all the time. I have addressed, I said, let's remove the work envelope. Kenyans did not want. So more evidence, even now, the Cheru's evidence is got from the ICC. From work envelope. Witnesses who were killed. From who? Work envelope. Have you seen? If you had taken the work envelope away and removed it from your books, Miriam, you would be the most safest people on planet Earth. I leave you, I submit. You now can move on Uganda. Let this subject not be discussed beyond. You have not much time. Move on the most other African stories. But that is the truth of the matter. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much there. All right, then we move on to Somalia. And of course, heavy fighting at the Somalia town near the Kenyan border last week killed about 9 people, according to Somali sources, as tensions between the East African neighbors increase. The fighting started late Sunday and continued in the early hours. Somalia's information minister accused Kenya of supporting rebels to attack federal forces. It said Kenyan troops, accompanied by Somali fighters trained by Kenya, entered the town of Bulahau in Jubilee territory to attack Somali federal bases. And of course, Nairobi has denied this involvement. And we saw Kenya writing a letter last week, protesting against these allegations there by Somalia. Are we likely to see a quick resolution between these two countries? And I'll start with Daniel.
Yes, first of all, Miriam, the other week, Dr. Masanga wrote a very, very good rebuttal to the president of Somalia, Farmajo, on his dishonesty in these talks to ensure that we have a ceasefire in whichever tension that we're having between two countries. Number two, there is no any other East African country that has helped the Federal Republic of Somalia more than Kenya. Remember, we have our troops in Somalia, and they have been there since the leadership of President Mwai Kibaki, and today, our gallant soldiers are still fighting to ensure that peace and stability is restored in Somalia. And even as President Farmajo always trashes the moves by the Kenyan government and other international communities to ensure that we do have peace between the two countries, he has to be reminded that he lives in Kenya. He has a house in Lavington. And the other day when he was cutting the relations between Kenya and Somalia, he did it here, while here in Kenya. We know that. So to me, Miriam, whatever is happening in Somalia, it's not because of the interest of the people of Somalia, but this is propagated by interest of the government of President Mohamed Farmajo and a few international countries like Qatar and France, which have an interest in the oil blocks in the Indian Ocean, and therefore the conflict should be addressed from that perspective. Otherwise, it is very, very much dishonest for Somalia to level such aggressive claims against Kenya. That is what I think about that, Miriam.
All right, thank you so much. Ambassador Maina, thank you for being here with us this afternoon. I don't know if you're familiar with the feud that has been ongoing between Kenya and Somalia, especially as Somalia has not been very happy accusing Kenya of certain issues. But of course, Kenyan government has denied a lot of these accusations from the Somali government. But at the end of the day, these countries, we are neighbors. So getting a resolution on these issues, I think, will be best for both countries. I don't know what will be your advice for Kenya and Somalia on how to settle these disputes, even going back to the maritime boundary dispute there that we know right now is still at the International Court of Justice.
Thank you, Miriam. The only thing I can say today, not even Somali. Many African countries always they have this mindset of blame game. Sometimes if they fail at least to fix the situation of their country, this is the problem of Somalians, and they are having issues between themselves that maybe the government, one part of the country did not agree with the government. So if you people fail at least, to bring on the table to fix the situation, why always blaming? You are blaming Kenya. Kenya has paid a lot of price in Somalia. We all know that, even from the other side, Western African. We know that Kenya has stood for Somalia for so long. So I don't know today why Somalians have started to blame Kenya. And we know that right now, Somalia and Kenya, they become one family. If we see whatever even going on in Kenya, you cannot even compare Somalian and Kenyan because they feel home. The main situation is sometimes when you lack of understanding on your own politics and you don't know how to manage your country, you have always tendency to think that someone is instigating another team, to fight you back. For me, I think that is not helping Africans, not just the Somali, but the majority of African countries, because we did not sit down to see where we are going wrong and call everybody in the table to fix it. If you see that one part of the country are not happy with you and they are fighting it and they are not satisfied with their politics, why not start understanding them and to see that if there is a concession or accommodation you want to do to the team, instead of fighting, like accusing Kenya. I don't see any Kenyan interest to go and help any political to go and fight Somalia. For what? That is the situation. For me, I advise the Somali president at least to call for reconciliation for all the Somali people and sit down to get a headway. Because if these kind of things continue, we need to call again the Western countries to come to be in the middle, the referee. And every time it's become the same story. We want to call UN or whatever to come in our African land. They start giving us sanctions. They start giving us instruction. They start funding us the money we need. That is the situation. Sometimes we are the cause of our even own problem. I don't know if Professor Nyari agree with me, but we Africa sometimes we cause our own problem and we start accusing the neighbors because we fail to agree that we are responsible.
All right.
Until now, we didn't see African community, the AU or whatever, has not seen any evidence that Kenya is involved. But just as Somali is raising the voice. But let's continue to see what is the future reserve us. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. And just to add to that, what you've said, Ambassador, is that Somalia went to complain to IGAD, and so IGAD set up a committee to go and investigate these claims by Somalia. And a lot of Somalia had 5 issues against Kenya, and 4 of those, they were not founded. And so Somalia refused to agree with the findings of that committee, and yet it is Somalia who had gone to IGAD to complain, and IGAD took action, and yet Somalia came back and said, we don't agree with the findings of their team that IGAD had sent to try to solve this problem that we had approached them seeking for a solution to it. Quite oxymoronic there. Javen, something the ambassador has said that I think is quite profound. And as we know from what we've heard, what President Farmajo has been trying to do, especially with the rising tensions between Somalia and Kenya, is because they are in a campaign mode right now. They're set to go to the elections in the next couple of days, and so they're using this issue of Kenya as one of his campaign just to propel him or for whatever political mileage he's seeking for, which I think is very dangerous, owing to already a very delicate situation and the things that we share in terms of fighting Al-Shabaab and all that. A lot is at stake. So I don't know if President Farmajo understands that. But something that Ambassador has said, Somalia is unable to manage its internal affairs. So it's easier for it to, blame Kenya for whatever it is going on there. So it's just a blame game. So I know we discussed this the other day, but from everything else or everything notwithstanding there, is the leadership of Somalia right now, led by President Farmajo, using these issues with Kenya as a scapegoat and also just for political mileage? And what are the dangers in that? Javen.
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. And I agree that when the tendencies in these countries, when they fail to organize their issues, they try to use other countries as scapegoats so that they can maybe portray their government as being sabotaged by those people who are outside, or having some external forces or some ghosts that are interfering with how they do their business. And that is a mastery that President of Somalia, Farmajo, has mastered well, and he knows to operate from that kind of a blame game, because we see him, because of the election that are looming, he is now coming to blame Kenya for the economic and all many issues that are happening in Somalia. And we saw the other day, they say that Kenya is interfering with their electoral processes, and that is not the case. Kenya has no any stake on who becomes the president of Somalia. It's the people of Somalia who are supposed to elect their leaders independently, without being coerced by any nation or any leader from outside their nation. It is the people who are supposed to make their decision. But Farmajo want to divert their attention so that they cannot look at the failures, so that they cannot look at the miscomings, and where he has not delivered. He is now using Kenya as a scapegoat for all the troubles that he have caused to the people of Somalia. The best thing that the people of Somalia can do is to send the president who has failed to reorganize the economy back home, so that they can have somebody else who will work and who will try to bring good diplomatic ties between Kenya and Somalia. Because we have seen Farmajo as a person who is not determined to ensure that we have peaceful coexistence, is a person who does not respect regional bodies like IGAD. He reported there, and a report has come out, and nowhere the country called Kenya was mentioned or seen to be working to sabotage or to interfere with internal affairs of Somalia. Therefore, these are just scapegoat mechanism. These are just ways to divert the attention of the normal voters in Somalia. And the dangers that we are exposed to is to have a troubling relationship between Kenya and Somalia, because at the end of the day, when you start bringing those fights near our borders, it is the people of these countries that suffers. It is the people who lose their things, their property. Therefore, it is high time that we avoid those kind of politics, because at the end of the day, you see the kind of refugees camp that we have in this country, in Kenya. You see the number of people that we host. All these people, they depend on one way or the other. They affect the resources that we have in our nation. Therefore, it is high time that we know all these mechanisms of using Kenya as a scapegoat, it all affects the two nations. It is high time that Kenya continues working to ensure that the two nations have a good relationship, but that will not be achieved when Faramajo is still on the office, because he seems not to be determined to ensure that there is a regional cooperation, there is regional diplomatic understanding between the two nations, and we have seen him using all these dubious and miscellaneous information to paint Kenya in bad faith. And Kenya is known for its good peaceful, as a peace-loving nation. It has gone in Sierra Leone, it was in Somalia, and it sets its troops everywhere in Africa where there is issue in insecurity, attacks and terrorism. Therefore, that is a bad thing, and he should also work hard to ensure that the people of Somalia gets good services so that he can have something to ride on as a campaign tool.
All right.
Thank you.
Very well. Thank you so much, Javen. Kidi, just riding on what Ambassador has said there, the inability of Somalia's government to deal with this internal affair, and we've seen it has been having problem with its other federal governments, like that one of Somaliland and that of Jubilee. And we know Kenya has, nurtured sort of a working relationship in line with the fight against Al-Shabaab. I think that is the key motivation, because Jubilee is sort of a buffer zone between Somalia and Kenya and the threat of Al-Shabaab. So Kenya has to have a good working relationship and understanding with the other side to ensure that this fight is successful. And that's why Kenya works like that with Jubilee. But of course, we've seen Somalia national government, there has not been very happy, and those are just some of the key things. Perhaps President Farmajo is referring to Kenya interfering with this internal affair. But we've seen President Farmajo has not been able to get a grip of the internal happenings there in Somalia. So instead now, Kenya seems to be a very perfect scapegoat to where Farmajo addresses his frustration with his the problems he's facing there. Could he just ask for help, or this scapegoating and this using Kenya as an excuse for what is happening in the country? How long does he intend to run this narrative, and is it serving the country of Somalia in the best way it should? Kidi.
Thank you, Miriam. Before I respond, let me extend my gratitude to Ambassador Maina for his humility to show up on Punchline, because I must appreciate his understanding of regional politics. And every time he is here, I personally, get edified, because I am able to learn from him.
Okay.
Well, reiterating what Ambassador said, is that Somalia has found it convenient to blame Kenya for its woes, because its leadership has not been able to stand up for what is good, right, and just for the people of Somalia. In part, because they've permitted themselves to be co-opted by international powers who would want to see chaos in the East African region. Because we know that Kenya has been identified as being the face of stability in East Africa. So that today, when Farmajo is even forgetting that Kenya has stood with Somalia and is himself in office, courtesy of the benevolence of Kenya, it is because, you realize that it's because he's looking at personal pockets and personal interest to the detriment of the interest of the millions of Somalis who are in need of peace and stability, people who want to rebuild their lives, but are still unable to rebuild their lives because we have leaders like Farmajo who are playing ping pong with their country, with their country's foreign policy and whatnot. Thank you, Miriam.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And in that report by IGAD, after their findings on the accusations that Somalia had labeled against Kenya, they went on to investigate that. And one of the key things that IGAD pointed out is that as we speak right now, over 3,000, children from Somalia access their education here in Kenya, because we know Somalia, after years of war and all that, the structures are not there in place. So we have a mutual beneficial relationship, and most importantly, the children there A lot of them come to Kenya to get a good education. And even in South Sudan, very interesting, a research there by the Ministry of Education, they say the schools that are closer to Kenya, the children performed way better. So we see the position of Kenya in this region, and we cannot underestimate. So it's important that Kenya and its neighbors have a good relationship. But in this regard, Douglas, this scapegoating, this finding excuses, this not being able to deal with their own internal affairs, their President Farmajo, but instead this narrative, it seems to be very well orchestrated. Kenya is the problem. Kenya is the reason why we cannot do this. Kenya is the one which is contributing to this and that is ailing the country. Do you think a lot of it has to do with external actors, as Kid there has alluded, but also is it the inability of President Farmajo to actually get a hold or a grip of dealing with the problems that he should be dealing with in Somalia?
Thank you, Miriam, and thank you for that profound question. One thing we need to understand is that the nephew of Siadi Balé, who fell in 1991,
all right.
Okay. That years later wants to take his country to the dogs, because this is a man that does not get advice from his own people, also from people, government actors in Mogadishu. This is a man that listens to Museveni Arun in Uganda, and also a man that listens to foreign powers, especially Qatari, Turkey, and also Norway, that wants to steal, and France that wants to steal oil blocks in Indian Ocean. We need to see Farmajo for who he is. Farmajo blames Kenya. When Kenya is blamed, who is blamed? The President of the Republic of Kenya and our Republic, of course. But we have become a country that has become a very indispensable tool for peace and also stability in Somalia for a very long time. All this while we have been doing this for the people of Somalia without an exchange for what we are doing. We just want to stabilize Somalia. Kenya has done their best, but we have seen a man that has been listening to none other than General Museveni and the Electoral Commission in Uganda, who is also, General Museveni has a tendency of holding the region hostage. General Museveni, you find him in Central African Republic. You find General Museveni in any other African country. General Museveni this time round in the Republic of Kenya, he is with a man none other than the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. He is a man that has committed himself into destroying this country using William Ruto as a surrogate, the way he is using Farmajo to completely emancipate the people of Somalia, using proxy people like Farmajo. And also we need to see for what Farmajo is doing to the Republic of Kenya. All this is scapegoating and everything. It is aimed at undermining the authority and also sovereignty of our people, and also as a republic. Where were these people that years ago when Somalia became a pariah state? Where were these Qatar, Norway, and France? Where were they when we were rebuilding their country, building their nation, and also forming their cabinet? Like Professor says, here's that history. We founded their cabinet in their government in our country. We funded them and also paid them using our taxpayers' money. Where was Museveni? Where were these people? I cannot say the role of Museveni in Uganda, in Somalia, but walikuwa wapi hiyo wakati? At the end of the day, we need to ask ourselves, who is Farmajo listening? He is listening to Museveni, and Museveni footprints can also be found in our country, where we have the most defiant deputy who has been also orchestrating the same tactics that Farmajo is doing in Mogadishu, blaming the people of Kenya, and also the President of the Republic of Kenya. The Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya is using the same formula that is used by Farmajo, reading from their mentor from Kampala, General Museveni. Why is William Ruto doing all that? Is doing the same thing that is being done by Farmajo. These people are being influenced by external factors and actors who are out to completely undermine the authority and sovereignty of our people and our nation. And as a people, we need to raise up to the occasion, stabilize Somalia, improve Somalia, and also in our country, like William Ruto, because at the end of the foreign policy, it is going to bring disaster to the forefront countries that have sacrificed a lot, have meant a lot of human sacrifices to be able to bring stability and peace in Somalia. As I submit, people like William Ruto, who have been reading from the mentor of Farmajo in Uganda, General Museveni, people
All right.
To be told that people like William Ruto read from this is the same if this man comes in here power. But I hope the people of Kenya open. God is also on the throne. Okay. This is not going to happen in our country, Miriam.
Okay, very well. Thank you so much. And you seem to be having a problem with your signal there. I don't know if there's a way you can take care of that. But Professor, this matter of Somalia and Kenya, surely we have to find a solution very, very quickly for the good of both countries. But as we've seen, Somalia has accused Kenya a lot of times, went to IGAD went out and set a committee to investigate these matters, laid its findings, and Somalia said, you know what, rubbish. As much as we came to you, we don't agree with the findings that your team has gathered so far. So now, I don't know what other, perhaps, alternative dispute resolution these two countries should take. Right now, we still have a case between the two countries at the ICJ. But we need to find our way forward and see how we can get back quickly and fight, issues like Al-Shabaab and other things that these two countries are facing. But in the meantime, Kenya has appeared to be a very perfect, scapegoat for President Farmajo. I don't know why this is so, and if at all this is even working to serve the greater people of Somalia there who are seeking President Farmajo to help in finding solutions to their problems. But instead, Kenya seems to be what is ailing the leadership there of President Farmajo. So this scapegoating, how long will it go? And we know perhaps it's for political mileage. And is it possible that President Farmajo should, if he needs help, he should say, you know what, I'm having troubles with leading this country, and perhaps Kenya should help me, because managing the issues of my problem is becoming a big issue now. But instead, he's been blaming Kenya so much, and Ambassador there said he's using Kenya as a scapegoat. So which way forward, and how would you advise these two countries to solve their problems moving forward? Professor?
Miriam, I've been so much disturbed, man, as we started the week and ending the week. When we invited Ahmed to be part of our show, you heard exactly what was his thinking. And when you analyze and you go deeper, there is more than meets the eye. So in line, to answer your question, Kenya needs to change its strategy. It has to review it. And Miriam, here is, the issue or the problem between us. Somalia has to do with the oil blocks in Ram, those sites of Ram. That's where we are having problems. And two, the failures of President Farmajo and now is facing an election, Miriam. What is trying to do, Miriam, I don't know whether you have been seeing a thief being pursued by people. When people are saying thief, mwisi, he also points mwisi. That is exactly what Farmajo is trying to see. He is trying to deviate the attention from the people of Somalia when they go for elections next month, to be elected. But be it as it may, Miriam, after having said that, Kenya, we need to change our strategy. Miriam, even if President Farmajo is raising rumors, I think our troops have overstayed in Somalia, Miriam. I must be able to admit, I know so many people may not agree with me, but I'm seeing from another lens. Our soldiers have been accused of charcoal, of real corruption, doing other things. So, Miriam, may we change our strategy so that our porous borders, Miriam, that our soldiers should come back and be around our borders so that we do not allow these people, because we went to Somalia with our advanced forces, ammunition has come, Miriam, our strategy must be able to change. Do you know why? When you hear the ordinary Ahmed is not appreciating at all the role which Kenya has played as a good neighbor to assist them have a government. In fact, the other day, I felt insulted. He was talking about the sovereign state. Do you know, Kenya, we have created that government? We have created that government. So that we have created, Miriam. we can't go to destroy. That's the story of it. But they are saying that, oh, we are using them, oh, we have helped them now. We are twisting them. That's why I'm saying, and I'm recommending. And for the first time for Miriam, I have to agree with Minor. Because I'm seeing Minor today, Ambassador Minor being as a true Pan-Africanist. This is the kind of spirit that we need to discuss and have the way forward. I have
said for the first time. My God, for the first time.
For the several time. Okay.
Wow.
I've seen you talk this evening. I can see you the spirit of Pan-Africanism.
Very well.
And that's how we need to see things the way they are. So, Miriam, this is what I'm saying. Whether we are having cordial relations with Somalia or not, we cannot run away with. That's what stands out. Whether we talk, whether we don't agree, whether we call, we are good neighbors. But how I pray that the people of Somalia, the only gift you can give the people of Kenya is to kick that man out. We need not to interfere. We don't have votes. You decide who becomes your leader, but have a leader who improves the good relationship. Even his uncle, said Barre, he never had a problem with Kenya. In fact, he must be very grateful when his father was overthrown. Where did he run to? He ran to Savari Pakia, Miriam, 1991, before he found his way to Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe or Zambia, I don't know. What am I trying to say? Even this Vamajo, the day is going to be voted out. The first place, Miriam, is going to come here in Nairobi. Let us look for ways, Miriam, where we can be able to be good neighbors. And now the strategy of Kenya coming out of Somalia should be on the top gear. Let us take care of our borders. Let us try to attend to our problems. But what I need to tell you, Miriam, that the Kenya and the people of Somalia, the ordinary people of Somalia, we are a very good people. They are the serious investors in this country. Their children are studying in this country, Miriam. So we cannot allow a few rotten potatoes in a sack, like the likes of President Vamajo, to interfere with Kenya. I said, Miriam, since God created the world, we have never utilized the oil blocks in the Indian Ocean. And Kenya is moving and Somalia is moving. So if those blocks, Miriam, will interfere with our relationship, because I know how I wish they listen to what Dr. Masanga is trying to say, Miriam. He took Ahmed into a task. He said that whichever way it is going to go, whether it goes Somalia, you think the people of Kenya are going to leave it right low? Whether Somalia is going to win, you think whether Kenya is going to win and Somalia will take it low? So, Miriam, we should look at ways of enhancing. We should be able to talk to one another. And I know, Miriam, if we sit around the table, we will always agree. He subjected himself, taking all the demands to IGAD. And IGAD have given Kenya a clean bill. I know, Miriam, even if he takes his demands, even before the devil, he will not agree with him because, Miriam, we have got no interest at all to interfere with a fair state, which we are trying to reconstruct. I submit.
All right, very well. Dr. Professor, they are saying it's time that our troops came back home, but Kenya, KDF right now is working under AMISOM, so how will that affect the entire outfit of AMISOM, and is it about time that our troops came back home and perhaps protected us from inside our borders?
Miriam, I think you are calling me to summarize this topic.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Look, we have talked about it the whole week. The truth remains, one, there must be an exit strategy somewhere, somehow. Kenya is not going to stay in Somalia forever. Kenya will have to leave Somalia when it is united. And at the time, when it comes, pacified Somalia, Kenya will leave. At the moment, Somalia is not pacified. There is no pacification there. The leadership in Somalia needs rearrangement. Mr. Farimajo is following his cousin, his uncle, Siad Barre. He wants to rearrange, governed by an iron hand, and Somalia is falling to pieces. Therefore, one way or the other, in my summary and analysis, someone has to leave Somalia, so Somalis themselves. But how, which state shall we leave them? We can't leave them in an Islamic state, which is propagated by Al-Shabaab and ISIS. No, we have to pacify, create an army, enable the army, the police, the civil service, the agencies working, then we can live. So, very much prepared to see us there for a long time. We shall still remain there. We are saying, and a note, without even winking any of my eyes, we are remaining there. There's nothing you will do. In fact, you will go, but we shall not go. Until we pacify you, and you become organized people in the world, then we shall not live, because you don't have manners.
And Doctor, it is the bravado that they're having a problem with. They're saying, fine, you came to help us, but hey.
Yes, we came to help, but when the help has not been seen in terms of delivery, if you come to help a woman to produce a kid, you leave the kid halfway to die. Or you see, yes, you are a mother yourself. The nurses in the hospital, do they leave you to die in the middle way? If we have absconded duty in Somalia at the moment and we say we pull out the troops, the terrorists will take over Somalia and we shall have nowhere to sleep. The child will be halfway getting out of the womb and then stuck between the legs. And that is very bad. Yes, Somalia is in a labor pain. And that labor pain is very dangerous. We have to get the child out by pacifying Somalia. I submit. 2, the question of Somalia now goes beyond. We are going to move. I am mobilizing international agencies and groups, lobby groups. We want to accuse Somalia for being a troublemaker in the region. I told you the letter was being drafted, and by next week, that letter will be in the Security Council. Because if Kenya does, they will say Kenya is against us. So we want to use international other bodies to say we have a problem that Somalia could bring more chaos, more ships being hijacked by pirates, more trouble, more killings in the Indian Ocean. Our trading routes will be disturbed. Therefore, we need a protection, a deferral in all cases that involve the Indian Ocean enclave. That's how people work. That's what the policy is. And that's what President Uhuru Kenyatta should have, people who think like that. Not these guys. That's why he went to seek mandate from Sagana. Should I take them away? Take them! Sisi tuko hapa tutafanya kazi. Tunaweza andika hiyo kitu. By now, you should draft by now. It is becoming very clear, Miriam, that this stubborn labor woman, the woman in labor called Somalia, is becoming stubborn. So if you allow the child to deliver halfway or not, or deliver a full one, who is worse, we shall be in trouble. So let's deal with the problem now. I'm using that analogy to touch every mother in the world.
Leave us alone.
So we have a role to pacify Somalia. We can't leave abandoned
Yes,
Somalia.
and also, Doctor, yes, and also I think it's very also important to always remember why the KDF went into Somalia the first time. We didn't just wake up and decided today we're going to raid Somalia. There was a reason as to why, because our sovereignty was threatened, our security was threatened. So that is the basis of that. So thank you so much. I think, Doctor.
William,
yes.
I entirely agree with Dr. Masanga, and I don't want to contradict him.
Yes.
But what I want to tell you, Miriam, we have been in Somalia for the last 12 years, since 2012 up to now.
So
those are
exit strategy.
And you could hear the statements of Ahmed, an ordinary Mwananchi.
In Somalia, absolutely.
That kind of thinking. It is something, Miriam, I'm glad that Dr. Masanga has agreed with me. I don't know when, but an exit strategy must be looked into.
All right. And I'm sure the government of Kenya is these are things that they are talking about, or they have discussions about in the bigger picture of even our own security back here. So I'm quite sure, yes, an exit strategy. I'm sure they're working on yes, at the appropriate time. Yes.
And can I come in? Can I come in, Miriam?
Maina, before you come in, an exit strategy must have the following ingredients. 1, the head. 2, the heart. 3, the stomach. If you leave Somalia without without 3 of these components fully present, that the Somalis are eating, they are eating their food, they are growing their food peacefully, that their hearts have been changed into a state that respects rule of law, that their heads don't think as if they are not Africans. You know the problem with Somali, they think because they have light hair and they have light skin, they are not Africans. And Ambassador Gaina, in Chad, you have the same problem. That's why we had Mr. Hussein Habre looking down upon others, because he thought the other Chadi people are not Africans. For them, they are not Africans, but you, Mr. Mr. Maina Gaina, you are more of an African, downtrodden. I know you might not speak about your problem in your country, but it is very dangerous. Hussein Habre killed more black Chadians, destroying them, Kabisa, because he thought they are not Africans. He thought he was not an African, he was an Arab. So Somalia is a country torn between state of legitimacy and it wants to legitimize itself. It doesn't know whether it belongs in Red Sea or it belongs on the mainland.
So it's having an identity crisis there. Doctor, we'll have Ambassador come in, and then because of the interest of time, you'll end it for us. Ambassador, go ahead.
Thank you, Miriam. As I was saying, there is a quote by the lady. She said that if everyone sweeps his front door, the whole world will be clean. But when someone does not sweep his front door, he will always complain that the neighbor is throwing the garbage in his step doors, right? The issue is Somalia has not understood how to play his political right. That's why he's fine, at least a scapegoat to put it on Kenya is fine. But I do not agree with Professor Onyari that the Kenyan troops have to move Somalia. Why? Because you have to understand that if the country, you are a powerful in the region, you have to play your role. You are not playing your role because someone is accusing you doing something that is not proof. Because Kenya is a powerful country in East Africa, either we like it or not. So if there is any problem in any country, Kenya have to intervene. And Kenya will not withdraw his troops just because the president is accusing them for something that is not funded. As Dr. Masanga tell you, he know how the politics works. When you are a powerful in the region, there is no way that you are not going to intervene for the sake of the people, not of the leaders. Sometimes that's our leaders, they will leave, but Somalia will still remain. Some years back, Farmajo was not a president when Kenya was there, so mean that there's not for him. Kenya is there for a purpose of his safety of the citizen.
So until now, we encourage Kenya to stay there because Kenya is leading East Africa. That is the role Kenya have to play, at least to be the boss of this region. That's why the security is still in East Africa, because they have to have a powerful country that can intervene at any time. So that's my contribution. Thank you.
All right.
Very well, Maina.
Very well. Thank you so much. Doctor, for the interest of time now.
Now, thank you very much. Viewers from the Political Command Center in London and to the headquarters in Nairobi, I want to thank my panelists, all of you this afternoon, from Ambassador Maina, Kidi Mwaga, Shoni Wasonga, Javani Karanja, and Budi Kirimi. I want to thank Professor Gerard Onyari for taking time off from your busy work schedule to come down to talk to us. I want to thank also Miriam for taking us through. At times, some of these things are hard. We speak it as Africans without any reservation, but we fear as Africans because we have a terrible mindset. There's one, I hope my panel has got me. We have a terrible mindset. If, for example, in Africa, you came and said in a hotel, go and buy me condom. Go and buy me 2 packets of condom. You send it the waiter. People will laugh at you. Everybody will say, have you not said that, Professor Onyari and the rest? I know. People say, hey, is this man? Who is this man? If you went to Intercontinental Hotel or Kempinski and told the waiter, hey, I'm going to my bed, but I want 2 packets of condoms. Hey! Hey! It's an abomination. But you are saving your life. So, Miriam, at the time, some of these things, even we Christians, you remember Jesus told Herod. Jesus told Herod that wait, Herod, wait. Because nobody knows which language Jesus was speaking. Do you know?
Hebrew.
Which bishop knows? Which bishop knows the language?
Hebrew.
Has the Bible told you which language he was speaking?
Yes, he was a Jew. He spoke Hebrew.
Which one?
He was
that Hebrew.
He was a Jew.
No, because we wrote the Bible from Hebrew. But you don't know which language. Jesus speaks all languages. Have you not? Don't you see that? He speaks all languages. Jesus was not confined to one language. We can argue until the sun comes back.
That's true.
Yes. Jesus was God. A son of God speaks all the languages. You cannot backbite Jesus. Can you go to your bedroom and your toilet and start backbiting Jesus? Ask Maina in Paris. Because you are in Paris and Paris is known for good perfumes and a good cognac and eating frogs. Can you go and tell Jesus, today I don't want to eat frog? He will be hearing. So in Africa, we must remove these bad habits of bad mindset. Very dangerous mindset. What kills Africa is bad mindset. What makes Farimajo, the president of a whole country, stupid? Mtu anakuwa stupid, he has gone to degree, he has started degrees, anakuwa very stupid man. His mindset. Africans have bad mindset. Do you know that? Look at your television. Look at your television now if you are in the house. What are they showing? They are showing Mexican soap opera. Resonga and the professor and the Kidi and Maina, you think there is no film from Chad, that documentary from Chad that could make us learn more about Chad, which could be shown. It is there. But they are showing Mexican opera. You find your wife even getting annoyed with you if you get the remote control. When the Mexican opera is on and you take the remote control, that whole week you will not eat food in the house. Yeah, the wife will not cook. There are some women who are deadly and very lazy. She's not refusing to cook because food is not in the kitchen. It is there. But she uses this opera thing to refuse you completely. Even if she wants to inject you out of the bed, of the bedroom. These are things happening to Africa. We must change our mindset. Look at the Africans, what we do today. Before I finish, Miriam, we have a problem. We get pictures of our children. Your child has not given you permission. And you have put the picture of your child. And what you are writing on Facebook is the most horrible thing on earth. You are a picture of a child displaying children. Don't display children. You display them for what? Are they commodities to be sold? It is only in developed society that people display their children. Why? Even if he spends time on internet, there is a check arriving on Friday. There is a check from the government, from the Ministry of Cheruguni. Is it Cherugunu? This small man from Beringo, what is it? Ruto's man, another psychopath minister.
Simon Chelugut.
Chelugut.
Simon Chelugut.
Yes, that one. There is a check from that ministry arriving. In London, if you are not working, fortunately I work. With my age now, I would be hammering 650 per week. Pounds. Unaona Miriam? So do you advise that I stop working? Because there they have a way of checking whether you work. Your phone shows you are having communication. 600 as an elderly person plus a badge for me to be able to go to see Liverpool playing freely at Wimbledon or at Kasarani or Nyayo. Is there any service in this country which gives man even a free ticket? Where the checks for the elderly have not arrived. They are still stuck in Ruto's office. Remember, Ruto took over that ministry. Now, some checks are still there. They have not received the checks. So we have a problem here. That's why you see Africa. Maina is correct. We have a problem in Africa. Somalia is part of the problem. Central African Republic is part of the problem. And I agree, an exit strategy. We shall not stay in Somalia forever. But we shall leave Somalia when we have made it very clear that we shall not go back to solve the same problem. That is the norm. And I want to thank you all from the legacy trend defender in London. I want to thank you that we shall continue like this, Miriam. From now onwards, you man, we thank you very much. Man the place, man us, bring us. I will always be available. I'm here, and all of you, thank you, especially Ambassador Maina. I look forward to buying you coffee in London anytime. Or you can call me, because in Paris, the coffee could be mixed with frogs. So I have a problem there. No, I fear frogs. I don't know how you live in that place. No, honestly, I don't know how you live in that place. Because I fear a frog eating frog. You know?
All right.
So, Miriam, I thank you very much. I come back to you to say, Mama, asante sana.
Okay.
I have also been doing all these hours for the last 2 weeks. So I want to beg that I will be coming in only handy.
All right,
with
Doctor.
From tomorrow, I will come in for the first hour with my legacy and the sleep, so that I give time for people, Professor Nyali, to carry on and other people. Okay. Thank you for the radio station. Thank you, everybody. God bless you. God bless everybody. The technical team behind there, Stephen and the company. Thank you very much for the good work. All of you, continue doing it. Now the job is cut for us. Gloves are off. You touch Uhuru, we touch you. You rattle him, we rattle you. You sing the song, we sing the other one. That is it. That's how we are going to move. So Ruto, prepare. Unfortunately, you don't have people with enough brains. You have people lumpenings like Itumbi, malcontents of uncoordinated, sanity, insanity. Oh, no.
All right, Doctor, thank you so much. Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Matanga. Thank you, Ambassador Maina Ghana. Thank you, Daniel Wasonga. Thank you, Javan Karanja. Thank you, Douglas Budi Kirimi. Thank you, Professor Jared Munyari. Thank you, all viewers, for watching. Hopefully, we can meet here tomorrow at 9 a.m. for more news across the continent of Africa. Thank you for joining us. My name is Miriam Mugoto. Bye-bye for now.